Just setting it up here. And there, that should be good. All right. I guess I can announce this as well. Wait, something wrong with the bit rate here. Okay, 1 second. Unstable, bitrate too high. I mean, it's supposed to be at the maximum, I guess. Well, we'll see. I'll maybe fix it until the next one. But what was it that I was thinking of? I don't know. Let's just see. So, hey, OXAA. Well, that's a hex. Welcome. Are you full-time developing your game, or do you have a daytime job? So, I actually do have a daytime job. However, I've been I had some days off. So I've been working a lot on this one, on this game, for like last week. So I'm basically working in my free, in my spare time, I guess you could say. But I wish that it was my full-time job. But for now, this doesn't make any money, so I have to have another job. But the goal is to hopefully get this to be my job. Cool. I'm currently also building a tower defense game in SIG. Oh, nice. That's cool. Are you using Raylib as well, or something else? Yeah. Let's see. Are you watching? So is the sound okay? Because it says that it's like too high a bit rate. I don't know. But yeah, we are... I've written down a lot of small things that we can fix, so I'm just gonna go ahead and start with this. So I think, yeah, maybe I'll just tackle them from top to bottom here. Yes, really, and my own small physics engine. It's not open source yet, but I might open source some things too. Oh, nice. So it's kind of like how I'm doing it actually, as well. Sounds great. Oh, nice. Thanks. Yeah. I also I followed like a YouTube series which implemented a physics engine in C#, and yeah, I basically just followed that and did did it in Sig instead, but with the vectors for positions and velocity and stuff. So it's like fully vectorized, which is nice. But I think there should be like even more stuff you could do with it to optimize it, because it supports to like a couple of 100,000 or like up to like 200,000 entities moving at the same time in different directions. But it feels like you could up that a bit. I don't know. Maybe using like GPU instead. But it's not really necessary for this game though. But it's an interesting problem. But the bottleneck is really collision detection. Do you have a collision detection in your engine? Yeah, so able to execute second attack faster. Yeah, so I think we'll do this one. When doing a 2-combo attack, it's when you attack and you attack again. I can show you here. So if you attack quick enough, he does a second attack. That's slightly different. So it kind of looks like he's swiping back and forth. But if you wait long enough, it's gonna do like a normal attack again. So I wanna have that the timing that you can execute this attack a little bit faster, because it looks like you should be able to do it at like the last frame of the attack almost, or it feels like you should be able to anyway. I don't know. Maybe it's actually not. Well, maybe I can just do. Well, let's attack at. Wait, let's attack at. Yeah, collision detection with no layer filter logic. Okay. So layer filter, you mean like different groups of collisions, like how do you say it? So you have one group that shouldn't collide with another group, or welcome Brian. Let's see. Yeah, so we have this timing thing. So I want to be able to activate this a little bit earlier. So this is still gonna be true then. So I will remove this here, and I will I guess we will do this and put this here. Layer mask. Okay. Yeah. I don't know the lingo. I've called it like collision groups, but maybe that's wrong. I think I got it from Phaser. But in that, I guess that's more like if you want collision, like events, collision events to happen between stuff. This is more like collision resolution. Like which groups of entities are gonna have a collision resolution. And I do it very naively, I think, and it tanks a little bit of FPS, but it's still manageable. But I think I need to optimize that later, but yeah. Let's see. So if we have a last attack type and it's normal and we are in the time window, but the time window should also have a start time. This is the end time. We should have so can do combo attack. Yes. Or in combo time window. So this is checking if the time is up, but we also want to check if last attack at is less than, and then what? Wait. Okay, now it's this problem again. So let's say the last attack occurs at T, then T grows larger. We need to check or is it still more than, and then we do no. Why am I having so hard time with this? So last attack at should be, so let's do it like this instead. Start time start time should be actually last attack at plus some value that's like, I don't know, 27, so like one frame, maybe even I think 25. And we still need to figure out the timing exact on this, but let's say that, and then the end time is gonna be this. It's actually gonna be plus 1, yeah. And then in combo time window should check if T is more than equal to start time and T is less than or equal to end time. Yeah, that makes sense, right? If we are in the window. And okay, that was way easier to think about, I think. And then if we are in combo time window, we can actually do this attack. Yes. But now we also have this else here. So else if the state is not equal to attack. So how did you implement it? Did you follow some tutorial or something? The collision, the layer mask. Breakable state. Oh no, sorry, you didn't do it. Sorry. Are you? Is it the tower defense? Is it 3D graphics or 2D graphics? Sorry, my brain is. I'm getting really scatterbrained while I'm doing this stuff. Let's see. Yes, so if it's not equal to attack, then the attack type should be normal. We can actually do this. Let's make an attack type which is nullable player component, player state, player attack, player type. So it's nullable and we initialize with null. So then it's like if it's gonna be null, then we don't actually have an attack. But if we do have an attack type, then we can just pass it in here. And actually this animation should probably be different depending on the attack as well. So if this is normal, then it's gonna be this. I'm not sure if you can do this actually. I think this has to be like, you cannot use this later because this is now, yeah, we'll see. It would be nice if you could do this sort of thing, but I don't think this is allowed. Like this, for example, and then you say in here, attack or animation. Just too unreachable there. Yeah, so now this is like comp time. Wait, oh, this is comp time. Right. Okay, I've actually painted myself in a little bit corner here because we cannot actually have like dynamic animation names, but I mean it's fine. We can just do this. We can do animation container get or get this, and then we do that here. Okay, and then this will be the animation. Is that possible? Yes, it is possible. Okay, cool. I don't know why I thought it would not be possible to do it, but yeah, some of this. When you do like an expression like this, and yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so we can actually get the attack animation duration, but because it's the one that's here, so we can just grab that here. But the thing is, the timing is also very specific. Like this timing is very specific to the last frame, that it's like 0.1. Actually, it's not 0.1, it's 0.05, and then it's 3 times, so that's going to be 1.5. So it's actually going to be like 65, like this. And animation duration. Let's just do this here, animation duration. So this is going to be total duration. And then this is going to be plus animation duration minus 1.5. And then this one is going to be animation duration plus 0.1. So that's the window. Alright. Okay. So now, yeah, now we have this, and the timing here is a bit that we may want to have like metadata to animation to be able to determine exact timing. So you can, the idea is that you can add like a metadata to the animation to say like, yeah, this frame is, you mark the frame as like, this is where you can do the combo attack, and then you can use that instead, so you don't have to go in here and like calculate it by hand every time. I mean, one step better could be to get the last frame and calculate the duration of that, I guess, but yeah. Anyway, maybe that's good. Well, whatever. Well, actually, sorry. We could do this. We could say, well, that's the, wait, this is wrong. Yeah, this is wrong. I'm not actually, yeah, because each frame has a duration scale as well, so it's not taking that into account here. No, wait, it does take that into account. Here's the duration scale. Okay, so it is correct. Right. But what I want to do, I want to add another function then that is going to be like get frame duration, and we can provide a frame which is a index, and then we return self frame duration times, and then frames, and let's just assert that frame is less than length, and this duration scale, yes. Okay, so that's the frame duration of the animation. Oh, frame. Okay, and then we will copy that and also put that into here. But now this is a instance instead. And we say self.duration scale times animation get frame duration. Okay, so now we can get the frame duration, and now we can go back here and we can say last frame duration is going to be, so let's get this as an animation instead here, and this will be animation get last, or sorry, get frame duration, and then we need the last frame, so that's gonna be, wait, is this not an instance? Oh, this is, oh, so this is actually wrong. And anyway, because, well, okay, as long as we keep the duration scale at 1, it should be fine, I guess. Whatever, let's just do this. Okay, and then this is that. Okay. So the last frame is when it swings and the weapon kind of, he holds it in the air for not 1.5, but it's like 0.015, I think. And yeah, that should be the start time. So now we have is attack input on, but we're not checking if we're already attacking. But if we should, when we're checking for the combo attack, we can already be attacking, so we can still be in the attack, and we calculate the time window where we actually can do the combo. And if we're in the combo time window and we are attacking with a normal attack, we can do the combo attack. Otherwise, we can check if we are actually not in an attack. Actually, you know what? Let's do it like this. If we are in an attack, whoops, which we do this part. Okay, but if we are not in an attack, whoops, we do this part. And we keep that. Okay. There. So yeah, now we have two settings here. If we are in the attack, we have to check for the combo. If we are able to do a combo. If we are able to do a combo, we set that here. If we're not attacking, we do a normal attack. However, oh yeah, but that means that this window is gonna be shorter now. This doesn't do anything now, because after the attack we are not going in here anymore, so okay, that doesn't actually work if we want to be able to have that timing. But maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe we should just maybe, okay, so let's not actually have an end time in that case. Okay, right. And if we don't, if we are attacking and we don't do a combo, then attack type is still null. So down here, we don't actually do an attack. Okay, let's see now. Okay, yeah. If I press very fast, it just does one attack. If I time it, it does the combo attack. That feels very nice. Oh, that looks a bit weird. And if I wait long enough, it's gonna be doing that. So sometimes he doesn't do the combo attack. I don't know why. Maybe it's just me, the timing is... No, we're definitely attacking before the attack is up, yeah. So, okay. And we are, I think, setting last attack at here. It felt like it was activated when you do a combo attack, and then after you kind of wait a little bit. So type sentinel, if we are attacking, then we only can do a attack like a normal combo. So is it... No, we are changing, has changed it to true, yes. Let's log out the attack type. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the combo. Actually, yeah, well, let's do that. But I'm also gonna check the code where we set the animation as well. So attack type is this. And let's see the where do we do this? Attack here. Yeah, so it's like it should be the correct thing here. Okay. What's up now? Cannot. Oh, we need to specify S here for the string. Yeah, like there. Maybe it's just bad, the timing. No, it definitely feels like the animation hasn't actually completed yet. Yeah, I don't understand. How can it become normal? Okay, let's do some other stuff here. So the state's definitely attack. Right. Let's do the timestamp as well. In I think you do like this, perhaps. And Yeah, we don't have this. And then we copy this, so we get like the timestamp, so we know if it's like the same frame or not. Okay, attack type is that. I want to check status attack. Okay, let's start there and see. It's really strange. Okay, it's wrong. Too few arguments. Oh. T. Okay. Definitely got it there, I think. So attack type, yeah, it doesn't say it's really strange because it really feels like the attack is not over yet, but I can still, yeah, attack. So maybe there's something else going wrong then. And even here you can see like, wait. No, here the duration is up. Okay, let me just double check here. Let's open up the animation studio and see. Whoops, the wrong thing. And see the duration of this animation here. Yeah, it's 0.35, so that's definitely, oops, like this is shorter than that, so it's really weird that the state would still be it's like the attack is ending too early. Yeah. Okay. So, okay, so why is that happening? Here's the duration setting there. So we can basically, we can check this. Attack ends at ends at 6. Well, that's way shorter than it should be. Weird. Like it's 0.35, so it should be like 3. So it's 7.4. Huh. What? And what do we get here? I mean, it's obvious we're getting like a lower. Amount. Yeah, 0.28. Wait, am I looking at the wrong thing? Attack 2. Oh. Wait. This one. Oh, so this one is longer. Wait, why? Oh, I never saved this. But it's okay. It still feels a bit weird though. So now it's the same length. Okay. So that actually feels a lot better. Yeah, you can see like when he puts the weapon down, you do a normal attack, but as long as you have this. Oh, should you be able to? Oh wait, that was no, that's fine. Should you be able to do like back and forth the same way? As long as you keep the combo up. I don't know. Let's just have it like this for now. We'll see. Okay. We need to get to some of the other stuff as well. Okay, so yeah, it's just a bit of timing issue. It felt weird that I don't know. Maybe it's me just being crazy. I thought that the animation wasn't over, but apparently it was. Okay, so let's see. So we've done this. Now, excuse me. Yeah, this problem. I'm not actually sure if we can get to this now. So this problem is like the attacks should have like a lingering attack hitbox that damages enemies, but they shouldn't damage more than one time per attack. Right now it's just instant, so to prevent like damaging each frame. And I've looked around a little bit, and I think the best solution that I've come up with is basically each attack can have a list of entities that they have previously damaged, and then you just check against that list next frame again if if the entity is in that frame or in that list, and if it's in the list we don't damage it again. So that way you get this thing that can keep track of which enemies that it has actually attacked. And that's easy enough, I guess. If we go here and we go to the player attack state. Wait, where is that? Here. So what you could do is you could just add a list of here a list of entities, and I guess you could have like a maximum so that each attack you can only hurt, I don't know, up to a certain point, just to keep it simple, because I don't know if I want to have like this allocated. That's gonna be a pain to deal with. So I think what we could do is just use an array, maybe. The only thing with arrays is I'm not really sure how I haven't really looked into like how they are like copied around, because I've had some issues with that before, but sometimes it feels like it works perfectly, but sometimes it just doesn't. But I think I'm just gonna create a buffer here, so this is just gonna be like entities. Entities already hurt. And let's use a bounded array. And this would be a list of entities. And the buffer size, I guess we could just say like, I don't know, 32. So each one of these is like, I think U64 or something. And then, yeah, we get 32 of those in here. I mean, I guess, yeah, we're only gonna have one of these player components, so it's not gonna be like a huge thing to add. Oh yeah, this needs to be a comma here. Okay. Now we need to define this, so... Well, I guess we can set it to a default. Oops. And we'll just initialize it to 0 and catch unreachable there. And yes. So the reason I'm catching unreachable is because the error is like overflow error, and we can see here clearly that it's not gonna overflow since the maximum is 32 and we are setting the length here to 0 to start with. Alright, so now what else do we need to do? So I think this is, if we go to update here, and we'll check where we are actually damaging things. So I think it happens in the player system if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, here we are hurting the monster, and we are, yeah. So here we are checking like, are we attacking? Should we end the attack? Blah blah blah. Yeah, here we have the old logic now, which is it's just hurting for one frame. Next frame we set it to false, and we don't hurt something anymore. Or yeah, the first frame we're setting it to false. And then the subsequent frames we'll check if it's on or not. But we remove that now. And now we get all intersections of the attack, and so this is like, maybe I realized that this is a very inefficient way of doing it, because other physics systems has a thing where you check if something has entered a collided state with something, or an overlap, and that becomes more like an event that happens. But I think, yeah, you have to also keep track of which entities are overlapping another entity as well, because then you also have like exit overlap, and each frame you have also the overlap event. So but I don't have that, so I have to check for intersections. But it's pretty cheap to check for intersections. But that's an optimization that you could do. Implement the overlap event system, and then use that to check, okay, is this the first frame that we're actually overlapping with this entity? However, if you just use that here, then if the monster like moves in and out of the hitbox several times, then that would also make it hit several times in the same attack. So that's maybe not what you want in some cases. But yeah, but anyway, so here we just wanna see. So we get an intersection here, and we check if we have a health component. And if we do, then we do the hurt. But we only want to do that if it's actually in not in the list as well. So I wonder if we should do that here. Yeah, it's probably a very fast lookup to check the health component. So I think we'll do it here. So this will be if let's say we do have the attack. What's this? Unknown. Okay. So this is called entities already hurt. Yes. And of course I don't get the autocomplete here, so I have to go and check what you can do. And there's probably like index of. No. Oh yeah, sorry. You can use not that one. You can use this one, index of scalar, and then the index of is entity, and the slice is, I think it's called buffer in that struct, and then the value is entity. So if this is not equal to null, that means it already exists in the list, so then we just skip this, we continue. Otherwise, we want to add it into the list. Append. Well, actually, also we want to check if the length is already like at the maximum capacity. So let's see. So we can check if length is. Wait, how do we see capacity? I guess we could check the length of the buffer. Right, so wait. If length is more than or equal, I guess, to the buffer length, then we also continue, because okay, so then it kind of signifies that the attack is sort of spent up, so you can only attack like 32 monsters, and then the attack doesn't do anything anymore, to prevent like multiple frames damaging it. Okay, so then here we want to append it here, so we should have append, and we can just append assume append assume capacity. Here, append assume capacity, and we just need the item, which is just gonna be the entity here. Okay, so then next time we go in here and the entity is already there, so we continue, or we are full, so we continue. Otherwise, we add the new entity. So let's check here. Okay, so we've got array literal requires address off to chorus slice to type const u32. Right, so that's right, that's the actual buffer, so we need to do this. Okay, cool. And one thing that I'm thinking of is clearing this out now, because I'm not sure, I don't think, like if the data is still there when you initialize it second time, then there might be an issue with residual data that's gonna like mess things up. So, well, actually the length is still gonna be 0. Yeah, the length is initialized, so I don't think we need to care about that actually. Hopefully. Okay, but now I think that's actually what we need to do. So let's test. All right. Well, we have some monsters here, so okay, yeah, that seems to work. And also, let's try jumping down into the monster. Okay, that. Okay, I think it seemed to work. We got killed there, but yeah, I think that works. Okay, nice. And we should also test for like the multiple monsters at the same time, I guess. Let's aggro here. Oops. Okay. Yeah. Nice. All right. And okay. Yeah. So one thing we need to clean up is this one. So let's just check if we have anything. No. All right. So a little bit, maybe, I don't know if this is like a good way to do it, but it's the way I've got and it works. Maybe we can increase this value if it comes to that. I don't think we're gonna have more than 32 monsters, at least not for the kind of monsters that we have right now, but we'll see. Maybe we can just increase it in the future if that becomes an issue. All right, so we have that. Prevent player from turning while attacking. That should be pretty easy. So let's go to handle input. And it's gonna be when we try to move here, left or right. And so the direction is only gonna be changed if we are not attacking, which we have a variable here for. If we are not attacking, we go ahead and change the direction. There. Okay, now then when we attack, we cannot actually turn. Nice. And we can see how that feels. If it's like super annoying, then maybe we can remove that. But yeah, it felt like a nice thing to do. Reduce player stun time when hurt. So when the player goes into a monster here, we get this hurt animation, and it's like, it feels like it's way too long. I think it should really maybe not even be any time. Maybe like it should just be like, I mean, I don't think a knockback is a good idea, but I don't know. Maybe it's just gonna be some graphical effect, but you can still like move. I don't know. Maybe we just shorten it a little bit so that you do get stunned, but just for a tiny amount of time. I'm not actually sure about what a good thing for that would be, but we can try different things. We can try like, actually, let's try just removing it, and we'll see if that becomes like OP and yeah. So if we are hurt, I guess we can just exit the hurt state. So this should not be true anymore, which means we can always move, I guess. Let me just keep that around. So let's put this to true. Yeah, and that's it, I guess. So we're still gonna see the hurt animation, but as soon as we walk, it's gonna quit. Wait. No. Okay. So I think, yeah, that's because if we go down to the bottom here, it's gonna change the state to idle. Where is that? Here. So it changes it to idle when we're not idle, not attacking, and if we are not hurt. Okay. So if you hold, it's a little bit weird, because if you hold like the walk, it's like you're never gonna see the hurt animation. It's like it's instantly. It's like one frame you see the hurt animation. I think it makes sense to actually have a little bit of stun, but not that much that we had before. So let's take this back. But what we'll do is we will... I think it's governed by the animation duration, so... wait, no, it's set state hurt. Oh yeah, it's this one. Yeah, it's the animation duration of the hurt animation, so... yeah. So, let's see. So we'll go to the animation thing, and we will go to hurt. And we can... so it's like 0.1 seconds though. It feels a lot longer, actually. Wait. Yeah, it feels way longer. Yeah, it's like 1 second, or maybe even more. So how can that be? Okay, let's check this again. Yeah, duration is 0.1 second. That's... let's do like 0.01, see if that actually does anything. No. Still like almost the same. Yeah, exactly the same time. Let's go back to that. Okay. Let's just log this out and see what it becomes. Search ends at... is this the player or the monster? No, this is the monster. Oh. Okay. Yeah, okay. Okay, so it's here. Oh, I see. Okay. I'm just, yeah, okay. I did not notice that, so. I mean, it should really be the animation duration, I think. Alright. What? Oh, because we didn't change. Okay, because we're not setting the animation here. Okay, so let's get. Okay, so we need the animation container. Which is there. And then we need the animation, which is animation container. Get or pissling get hurt. There we go. It should really be like a constant, but oh yeah, now it's I mean, maybe a bit too quick. I'll just set it to like maybe half a second. Nice thing about this though is now we don't need to recompile it. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that feels a little bit better. Maybe even shorter. I'm not sure. I'll just lower it to 0.4 and then we'll call it. Because I feel like we have to like take everything into account to get a good feel of things. Yeah, I just wanted to lower it a little bit, but maybe even less. Let's do like 0.25 or something. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, let's keep it like that. Now we can at least change it when we want. Okay. Set animation to desired. Okay. Right. Now this one is cool because it's gonna make, I think, combat feel a lot better. So kind of like in Hollow Knight, where the monsters get some monsters, I guess, get a little knockback, like the weak monsters. And I think that's really important aspect because let's say you're very close to the monster, and then you like attack it. It feels like, yeah, it's like these two in combination, but that could handle this, or one of them. If you have knockback, the monster is like pushed backwards, so you don't get hurt again by the monster. But this one is also like kind of the same thing, except the monster stays at the same
well, you still are like colliding with the monster, but as long as you're damaging the monster is stunned and it cannot like hurt you. So I'm gonna try implementing both of these, and then we can tweak it and see what feels good. So let's do knockback, because that's gonna give like a different feel also to the thing. Okay. Alright, so knockback, yes. So where should we handle this? Maybe that should be... No, let's see. Now the problem starts to become like organizational. Like, is it going to be a component? Is it going to be just a part of another system, like this player system? Or because the player is not going to have knockback on. You're not gonna. The monster's not going to be able to knock back the player unless it's like a very special attack, like a boss attack or something. But normal monsters are not gonna be able to like knock you back, I don't think. Maybe like super elite monsters or something. But because it's like really annoying to have player knockback, in my opinion. But where, so... No, this is for the player. Let's go to monster. Yeah, so here's where we set the monster state to be hurt, and I think what we can do is very simple. We can do knockback enabled, or is knockbackable. And we set that to true, and then we will enforce it here, I think, since this is kind of where we heard. This function name is kind of bad now, but because it like handles, sort of updates like the hurt mechanic or damaging mechanic, so it should really be maybe part of like a damage system instead. But I'm not gonna deal with that right now. So here is where we set animation to hurt, and we should also then knockback. And so we need to have a knockback. I mean, let's say we have a knockback vector. And let's just set it to 0 for now. And what we do with this is we just do we need the body of the monster, so let's grab that, and we need get rigid body of the entity, and then we can say just yeah, I guess it's an impulse, because it's like an instant thing that happens. And I think that's it, actually. Now I just need to calculate the actual vector. So I think it's just gonna be like, you know, a straight vector, like horizontally straight, maybe. I'm not sure if we want to calculate, you know, the angle between the monster and the player. Maybe for like flying monsters, you want to knock them back like away from the player. But for ground-based, I think it makes sense if it's just going to be horizontal. Because if you're coming from the, if you're like landing, coming from the top and like attacking, doing like an aerial attack, you wanna have the monster like be moved away from you as much as possible, but you're actually moving down towards the monster as well, so you want the monsters to move horizontally in that case. So I think what we'll do is we will simply get the body of the damage source, I guess. So which is the player in this case. Which means we do need to pass the player here. And let's also grab player body. And let's see. Now we want to do like what we want to do is we want to check simply like is the player body gonna be to the left or right of the monster, and then we determine the knockback vector based on that. So it's basically gonna be, is it to the left or is it to the right? And how we can do that is we can take the relative vector from the monster to the player, let's say. So it's going to be player body center subtracted with body center. So that's the relative. And then we can take so that's the relative to from the monster to the player, and then if you take the dot product of that to wait. That, and then we take the dot product to the wait, which one are we going? It's just gonna be the unit X that's relative to the monster body, I think. So it's gonna be this. Well, we do have the okay, I'm actually not sure here. But actually, I'm stupid. What we can just do is we can say if so let's just do this. If the player center, let's do this X. Wait, player body. So if this is that, and then we have the monster X. Okay, so we're just checking if the player X is less than monster X. That means the player is to the left. So that means the monster should be pushed to the right. So this is just the right. And then we times that with some knockback, I guess, strength. I'm just gonna set it to like 1,000. So it's to the, if the player is to the left, then we knock back to the right. Otherwise, actually, we can do this. Otherwise, we knock back to the left. Okay. We got some errors. Oh yeah, so now we need a player here as well. And there you see, we have some knockback. Let's move the monster over here a little bit. Wait, did we have knockback, or did it just look like we had knockback? No, we don't have knockback. Okay, let's I guess we can increase the strength. Probably increase it more. Oh yeah. We should also times this by the mass of the body, so we don't have to calculate that. It's not gonna be part of this calculation. There we go. Now you can clearly see knockback. Well, it's a little bit much maybe, but that looks kind of nice. So let's do, I guess, 7.5. Still a bit much. Let's do 500. Man. Let's do, okay. Let's do 100. I wonder if it's like, okay, that's a little bit less, or a little. Let's do 250 now. No, I think this shouldn't happen every frame. It's like, it's one frame, it's when they get hurt. Yeah, so it's not like it's happening an obscene amount of times. Hello. I thought you aggroed quicker than that. Okay, that feels a little bit better. I don't know, maybe it's a little bit too small. Maybe not. Okay, but anyway, let's get to these other points as well. So nice, we've got this. Now, I'm not actually sure if I want this next one, but because the idea is, if you get stuck with the monster, like on the same sort of, like in a little hole or something, you don't want it to be like you cannot actually get out of there and not be hurt by the monster. So the idea is that if you attack the monster and it stuns the monster, that you're not hurt by it. But I'm not sure about this, because it kind of depends on what kind of, if you actually want the monster to be stunned. It's not always that you want the monster to be stunned by your attack, and even if it is stunned, do we want it to prevent the damage on touch? Or should we just try to design the level such that you don't actually end up in a hole that you cannot get, with the monster? So I don't think we want to do this actually. Now that I think about it, let's actually remove that for now. Okay, so this one, I don't think I'm gonna do this now, but the idea is that right now it's really easy to kill these guys because they take a little bit of time to actually spawn in, which is fine. I want them to take a little bit of time to spawn in because there should be like an entrance animation for them, but they should also have the ability to not be like spawn camped, as I call it, so that you can just move up to them and kill them instantly. They don't really have a chance. So what I'm thinking is to prevent that is, or make it a little bit harder, is to have them maybe after you attack them. I mean, this really depends on the type of monster, I guess. I mean, some monsters are going to be easy, like this, I guess, but some are not. And I think, yeah, so that's why I'm thinking that maybe I'm not gonna do that right now. Maybe I'm gonna save this for like a later type of monster. And even this monster that we're dealing with now is not like the first monster you're gonna meet. It's gonna be like the third or something, because it has a bunch of different like attacks and stuff. And yeah, we'll see. I'm just gonna have that there for now. Now here we got some particles. It's not really a particle. It's not gonna be like a particle engine or whatever that I'm gonna do. It's just gonna be like an animation that is gonna show more what is happening. So I think I'm gonna start with the monster particles. It says monster spawn here, but it's showing the monster spawn animation, like the 2 frames of the animation, the last 2 frames when the monster is hit. So I already have this animation in the game, but I need to actually add it so it actually gets played when the monster is hit. So a very easy way to do this is to go to where is it? It's when the monster gets hurt, so it's gonna be in the player, or no, it's gonna be in the monster here. Yeah. So here again we wanna do something here when the monster gets hurt. So we want to also play this animation, but we also need to create a new entity, which is gonna be like the particle sort of thing there. And so we'll do this like particle entity. So you just do this, and then we will do yeah, we need to add some components here. So we're gonna need to add an animation instance, and we're gonna need a texture. So the texture is going to be we're just gonna get the animation from the monster. So let's just get monster animation here, and the texture then is going to be monster animation dot animation, or let's do get current, wait, texture, yeah, current texture dot texture, and that is the texture that we're gonna use. So it's the same as the monster, and then the animation that we're gonna use is, do we have animation container? No. So we need animation container, and we're gonna grab the animation from here. So this is gonna be the hurt animation. No, not the hurt. Wait, what did I call it? Let's open up the animation thing and see what it's called. It's gonna be called hit particles. Hit particles. So we need to add this also to the list of animations for the monster here. Alright. So now we have that. And then let's actually do particle animation. It's gonna be this. Because I want to grab the texture from that as well. So we're gonna add, wait, is this the correct one? Yeah. We're gonna add animation.current texture, and we're gonna start it. And now what? I think also we need to add a draw layer, but no, let's not do that right now actually. So now I don't actually have a way to position things, so make them like in the, without adding like a rigid body to them. So I need to actually do that. Let's see, this one is what? Oh, this one needs to be mutable, I guess. It's not really need to be mutable here, but well, actually we are starting it here, so here we should also be mutable. Okay, yeah, whatever. So, well, actually, no, this is not. No. We're doing the wrong thing, but it shouldn't actually matter though. But this one, we shouldn't start it like this. No. Let's go back here because that's the wrong like instance. We need to grab it from the registry again. So we need to grab it back once it's been stored, and then we can use it as stuff, because otherwise we're dealing with like a local copy here. Okay. And let's see. Now my mind kind of went blank here for a second. Right, so we're starting. Oh yeah. So now we actually, yeah, we need to add the physics thing. So we need to actually grab the physics system. And oops. No. We need to do physics system add rigid body to particle entity, and then we have some stuff here. So let me check. Yeah, here we're doing it for rock, so let's just grab that. Right, so the position should be the same position as the monster, which is body ABB center. Scale is fine. Density, that doesn't matter. Is static, is this is actually gonna be true, but it's not gonna be solid because it's not gonna be moving. I don't think. And the shape doesn't really matter. Because it's not gonna be like colliding. This is only for collision. So I'm just gonna say, is this even possible to do here? Well, I guess we'll find out. Alright, and then we get a body back which you don't care about. Alright, so that's that. And I guess the last thing that we want to do is set like a timer on it to be disappeared when the animation is done. And we don't really have anything for that. We could make a new system for that, like a timed, like death at time or something. A timed death maybe. Or destroy. Destroy, yeah, it's called destroy. Destroy at. Oops. Maybe. And this is getting into like a territory where you can have like more, I guess, generic. I mean, what I thought about in the past when dealing with like ECS systems is like, you should be able to have like a generic time like thing that happens, like, yeah, once there's like a timer component, and that component has like another component that, or some kind of thing that happens when the time is up, and what that is can be generic, so it can be like adding a component to the entity, removing a component, destroying it, spawning something else, whatever. So, but I think for now I'm just gonna do this very strict thing here. I'm not sure if I want to have that in the future, but I'm just gonna have this thing here which is like destroy at, and we're gonna have a timestamp here that is when it's gonna be destroyed, and then we'll have a system for it as well. So let's do destroy at system, and so no, let's see, we don't need this. We do need a time though. We do need the registry. And then we have a view which is gonna be it's gonna be like a basic view, I guess, since we're only interested in destroy at. And then we can make the entity iterator, and we will iterate through that. Okay. This one needs it to be, no, it doesn't need it to be mutable. Okay, maybe it's just the other view. So then we want to, yeah, then we have the destroy at, so let's grab that. You get entity, and we want to check if at, it doesn't know the type. Okay, but if at is less than or t, then it means the time is up, so we need to destroy it. So what happens then is we're gonna add a death component or destroy component. I'm not sure what it was called. No, it's called death component. Well, actually, destroy is kind of different, I guess. It's like, yeah, do you want to just destroy the entity, or because the death component, yeah, we do destroy when Wait, this already has this thing. Okay, so we already have this here, I guess. Okay. That, yeah, I did not remember that, obviously. We do have like death settings. Okay, so it's already implemented. So, okay. Forget this then. Let's see. So, wait. I'm going to save. I'm going to remove this. And delete that. So what we need to do then instead is just to add. Let's do it up here. We just need to add to the particle entity a depth component, which is gonna be t plus and then whatever the animation is. Okay. Okay. So it looks like it's spawned, but it's not playing the animation. And let's go and double check the animation here first. Yeah, this is the animation, and it's pretty quick. So we are starting it here. What am I missing? Do I need to call set animation as well? I think I need to do that as well, actually. It's a bit weird how I've done this, but let's do that. Whoops, I think it's gonna be in here. Animation, and then where is it? Here. Looping is false. T is T. Oh. Okay. The monster has the animation set now. What? Wait, is it because I am... No? I'm making a new instance. I grab it here and then I set it on that one. This one returns like a copy, so that shouldn't be an issue. We set it on particle animation. We set that. I'm confused. So we add that there, grab it out. We add, yeah, we add that. And we set the animation to that. I'm confused. So the animation of the monster is set to that animation. And then we also spawn another thing that also has that animation. So that was thinking like maybe it's like a reference issue here where when we set this animation here is setting, I don't know. Oh wait, this is wrong. This should be a particle entity. Oh. There we go. Alright, there we go. Now I got that. But it's a little bit weird. The offset looks bad. The position is that... Is it because it's 0 here? Maybe we should have the same hitbox as the monster then. Initial scene, cleared. Here's the hitbox for the monster. I think we'll move this to the monster component. We will rename this as well. Okay, so that's the monster hitbox. And this is going to be a monster component. Oops. Okay. Actually, you know what? Well, it's good that we moved it anyway, but we do have the body of the monster, so we can just grab that thing from that instead. So we can just actually we can do this. This is gonna be monster or the body shape. Wait, I think it's this one. Yeah, we set it to the same, so now it should have the same thing. No, it still looks offset. I'm pretty sure the position is like the center of the monster. I don't know. That's weird. Yeah, it's like it feels like it spawns like a little bit to the right and down. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's the origin, but the origin shouldn't be different though. This one doesn't have an origin set, and then you know, none of these have origin, and they're the same size, so it should actually be at a different. this was... Yes, the monster body. Okay, I'll just write this down as a bug, I guess. But now we have that. Monster hit particles are spawned in the wrong position. Okay, we'll just put that down as a bug and we'll come back to that. Okay, shield block is like, I wanted to have a more feedback that you're actually blocking an attack. We might actually have knockback on that. I don't know. No, maybe not. But I think what we want to do instead of doing that now is we want to start on sound effects. And I've made a couple of sound effects. Sorry. So I made a couple of sound effects, and but these are not like the final. So have that in mind. But it's like very, I don't know. It's very, how would you say, like Atari, old like Atari sound effects. I'm using a program called BFXR, which is really nice for like generating a bunch of different like 8-bit sounds. So I'm gonna try and just implement the ones that I have, and we'll see how that feels. Just to have something there. So we have a bunch of different events that we want to play sounds on. So we do want to... Well, first off, we want to actually add the sounds somewhere. So in Raylib you need to load the sounds. And for other things that I have, which is like textures, I have a texture container which you define like in comp time what textures you actually want to have. I'm not actually sure this is a good like pattern to have. So what I'll do is I will just, well, maybe I could just copy this though, because it is gonna be this type of container, but it's instead of textures it's gonna be for sounds instead. So I think I'll just copy this. Since we already have a structure for it, I'm just gonna copy it. The reason why I don't like it is because you have to pass like a specific type around, which is annoying, but I think I do maybe have a solution for that though. You can just define a type wherever you want, so you can just define the type that you need and use that instead of trying to pass type around to have it like generic, because we're not really gonna have, well, okay, never mind. I'm just gonna copy this for now and we will find a better solution for this later. So I'm just gonna have sounds here, and we'll copy this, and we're basically just gonna do, instead of texture, we're gonna have sound. Okay, let's save that and see if that works. Okay, and then we also have textures, or texture, which is gonna be sound. Okay, and that's it. No, I don't know, maybe there's a lot of things not gonna work with this, but let's see. I mean, we can try it. I mean, from a Raylib standpoint, it's basically the same thing. You have a load function for sound, and you also have the unload function. So the pattern actually stays exactly the same. And then we also have like the hash map where we store the references to these sounds, so that we can grab them and use them later, and we can go in here and load or get the sounds that we want. But oh, this is however not correct. This should just be sound and not sound 2D. So let's find these things, and we'll yeah, we can replace sound to deep with sound. Okay. And let's see if this works. So let's go to initial scene and we go to textures. Where are we? Where do you have this thing? Here? Wait. Here. So here's the container for the texture. So let's copy this and we will call this sound container. But we do need to import this container, so let's do that. And sounds. And I don't care that the file name did not match the convention that I had before, so yeah, you pass in a bunch of stuff. You have a key and the file name. So let's see. Yeah, so this is also, yeah, it's just gonna be, I'm just gonna check what this is called real quick here. There. So we have these, I know we have one called land, for example. Where is that? Okay, here we have, what are they, what extension do they have? No extension. Oh, did I have to put in the extension? Okay, so they have no extension, I guess. I'm gonna try and load. Okay, so let's see, the first one that we have on the to-do list, player attack. So let's add that, player attack. And what is that called? I think we have, yeah, player attack. And apparently I didn't put extensions on them, so I'm just gonna do that. Which is maybe a bit bad, because maybe then Rayleigh doesn't really know which format it is in. Oh wait, so maybe we save it as... Oh, so I saved it as a BFXR file format. Okay, so I have to export it as well. So I need to... Okay, so let me fix that. So let's... I need to load in a bunch of stuff. Why isn't it loading in? Okay, so this one is hit hurt. Two. Is that even a thing that I need to do? No, this is land. Okay, so that's land. So let's export that to land. Okay, now we get some stuff here. Alright, and I need to rename... Yeah, you're not seeing what's going on here, but I'm just renaming some files so I can import it into this program. And export it as wave sounds so we can import it into the game. And that should be all of those. Now I need to load, I guess load all. That's a library, okay. So I'll just okay, I'll just do one at a time. So player attack. Let's export that to player attack. And I will also enable desktop sound so you can hear it as well. So that's player attack, and I believe it was a wave file. Let's see. Wait, did it not actually... Player attack... Wait, I'm exporting it as a wave. So I have to type player attack dot wave, I think, to make it... Yeah. Okay. That sounds weird. It does not sound like it does when I play it. Okay, let's just see how it sounds in the game, I guess. Okay, so now we should have the sound. Well, we have the definition here. Now we also need to actually load this in, and yeah, one thing that we need to do is, yeah, we need to do this for the sound container then as well. Sound container there, and we also, okay, yeah, so we'll copy this to load the sounds, and this one is now the sound container, and here is sound container. Oh, and then we also add the sound container there. Okay, so now we should actually be loading in the sounds. Let's start this up and see if we actually get the player wave loaded. Okay, so we got a crash. Interesting. I'm first gonna check player attack. Okay, so it didn't actually say anything about that. Oh, we're not actually loading in the sounds. Okay, so then it makes sense that we are crashing because we don't have the singleton sound thing added, and when it tries to get it, it's gonna crash. So let's make sure that we actually load it and initialize that. Okay, there we go. And now let's exit and check the logs for player attack. And it looks like it loaded successfully. Nice. So, yeah, I mean, the main thing with raylib here is basically you call load sound on the file path, then you get the sound out of from that function, and you have to store it somewhere, and I'm storing it in this string, or a string hash map, and with a key, and then when you're done with it, you can unload the sound to release those resources. So that's basic, and then you can use this value that you've stored, and you can use it to play the sounds. Okay, so now that we have the sound, we can play it when we attack. So let's go to where we set state to attack, and it's gonna be here. So I'm not gonna worry about the launch attack because that's probably gonna be scrapped anyway. We'll add it here though, so here we'll play the sound, and you have, I believe, just play sound, and then you have to grab the sound. So this is going to be the player attack sound, which, yeah, we need the sound container, and then you can do get, and this is gonna be player attack, I believe it was called, yes. And then we can pass it in here. And then it's just gonna play that sound. And oh, we'll dereference it. Okay, so now it's gonna get this sound, and I'm just gonna disable the desktop audio and see if it because I want to adjust the volume so you don't get your ears destroyed potentially here. And it's like totally quiet, so let's see. I wonder if we have to set the volume or something. Okay, I'll just set it to 1 and hope that my ears don't get destroyed here. Let's see. No, still nothing. Okay. Oh wait, do I have to like enable sound in here, like when you set this up? So maybe init audio. Okay, yeah, so you have to call this. Alright. Makes sense. Let's try this again. Okay, there we go. I don't really like the sound, but it's just a, you know, initial, just to have something there. Alright, so let's the volume, I guess. I mean, can I just set the volume like, yeah, master volume? So let's do that here. So we set the master volume to like 0.5 or something, I don't know. And now I can enable the sound because it wasn't that loud, I think. And now you should be able to hear it. I'm not sure if that's too loud or... I don't really like it. But let's lower it a little bit. Okay, but anyway, we can change the sound later. Now we got, you know, the sound to play. So I think maybe I wanna make like a convenience function to do this thing. So I wanna go. I think we have a get texture function somewhere. Yeah. So let's do it here. Let's do play sound. And we'll copy these in, and this is going to be initial scene, and then we have the key, which is the sound key. So it's just a bit convenience there. And the key is going to be here. Okay, so that does the same thing that we wanted to do, and so now we can just say scene.play sound player attack. And that should be the same thing. So let's just test it. Oh, what happened there? Yeah, there's a bit of like a timing issue, like the the physics engine doesn't actually stop when you have like if I drag the window, which I guess I can't do right now because it's spawned in a weird position. I actually need to change this a little bit here. So we're setting the position here to 0, 0. So let's change it to like, I don't know, this. It's not gonna be a difference for you, but for me it's spawning like I cannot actually see the title of the window. But I'm just gonna show you a bug in the physics engine. So if I drag this around, everything goes down because, yeah, the physics engine like says that, oh, there's one frame, I guess Raylib or something doesn't run the frames while you're dragging the window. So when you stop dragging, you get a frame that has like several seconds of delta time. So what's happening is that goes into the physics engine, which yeah, it doesn't work. So I have to, that's a bug that I've written down, so it doesn't work. But that's why you saw that initial thing. And I guess the startup now takes a little bit longer since I guess we're loading in the sounds. I don't know. So maybe we'll have to fix that sooner rather than later. But okay, anyway, so we got the player attack. Let's do player hurt. So now I have to export this as well. Load hurt. Okay, so maybe it's this one. Is that player hurt or is it? No, this is player hurt. Player hurt. Actually, let's name them the same convention here. Player attack. We'll rename that. Alright, so now we have player hurt. And also I need to change the file name here, so like this. Okay, so player hurt, let's add that as well. Okay, so now that sound is gonna be, let's actually play it when the state has changed here. So that's going to be here. We set the animation, we should also of course set the sound then. So here's a bunch of stuff that might actually warrant a sound change as well. Maybe we should change, like set it here instead. Like this is update animations, but we should really also probably, definitely, probably, maybe have sounds as well. And sounds, I guess. So we have all this stuff, and we have the animation container. Let's also bring in the sound container. And yeah. Wait. We don't need a sound container. We can just do play sound. But then we can actually just do here, we can do play sound here instead now. So play sound scene. Yeah. So delete it from there and we can play it here instead. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, and then when we hurt, we can play player hurt. Alright. Let's see if that works. Yeah. Oh, I didn't get hurt then. Alright, so we're getting hurt. I don't really like the sounds that we have, but at least we have sounds. So I thought they sounded pretty cool when I made them, but I've changed my opinion now. Okay. Okay, play hurt is done. Next up is play death. So I guess where would that actually be? Maybe in death settings. We can add like a key, like a sound key here. Yeah, because we do have death animation, so it makes sense that we would have like a death sound as well. So let's actually grab that, but this one is like this thing. I think we'll just have a key here. Alright. Oh yeah, because the animation is they are actually structured differently. So you don't only have a key, you have something else as well. I think I wanna change that structure as well and just have a key instead, because it makes more sense from an organizational standpoint to just have a key, I think. Well, it makes sense in the data standpoint, because now we can just pass in a key here instead of a like reference, which makes more sense to me, I guess. I mean, it could be like an optimization thing, but anyway, I'm not gonna dwell on this. So now we need to, when we do this, we need to also specify a sound as well. So this will be, so this is the player, so it's gonna be player death sound, and now we need to actually add that, but we also need to add it here, which is gonna be, I guess, clear death. So let's actually also import those. I need to load this in as well. Player death. Yeah, it's very old school sounds. Player death dot wave. And then we have clear death as well. Okay, and now we can define those in our container. So death, and also this one. Okay, and now we go to the death system, I believe, or where is this handled actually? Here. Okay, yeah, so it's handled here, and this kind of different because we're using sort of this event handler from ECS. So ECS has events that you can listen to by saying on construct, which basically means when this like component is created, and then you can connect an event handler here, which you can also provide context if you want. And for me, context is this C struct here. And yeah, and then you get the registry and the entity that a death component has been added to. And when it's added, we change the animation, and we can also play the sound too. Yeah, death settings. Wait, ds dot death sound. Okay, so well, both the player and the monster should have a death sound now. So let's try the player sound first. Whoops. Man, that's gonna be an issue here. Okay, so let's try the player sound. Alright, that's the player sound. It's like an old school, it's like Mega Man. Yeah, and then, I mean, killing the monsters feels a lot better now where we have sound, but it's like, the sound itself is like, yeah, we need to refine that, but I need to get like proper, maybe 8-bit, like Nintendo sounds. Yeah. Okay. So. Okay, so that was the death sounds. We have this one and we have this one. Alright, so now let's do shield block. We could actually do. I'm just gonna load all these in. So we have clear attack. Let's export that. Clear attack. And clear death we already have. Clear spawn. We load in land. That's gonna be interesting. Oh, we already have that. Okay, whatever. And then make rock. We have player attack, we already have player death, we have player hurt, we have shield block. Okay. Let's do shield block. So let's go to initial scene and we can add these now to our sound container here. So we have a bunch of stuff. I'm just gonna add shield block straight up like this. Shield block. I'm just gonna add the other stuff as well. So we have land. We have, what was it? Clear attack. We have spawn. Make rock. Probably something else as well. Oh yeah, clear hurt as well, I think. Land, clear attack, clear death, clear spawn. No, we don't have clear hurt. Okay. Wait, we have hit hurt though. Yeah, I guess we can save it and we can see if we can use it. So let's do hit hurt. So it's kind of maybe kind of like a generic hurt sound for all monsters. Okay, so which one did we look at? Okay, shield block. This is here. No, not well. Yeah, I guess it is here as well. So this is where you have an entity which has damage on touch, so like a rock, for example, and we can also shield block it. So this checks if we are actually shield blocking it, and we're just destroying this entity. I think what we can do is we'll make a has shield blocked variable, and then we can just set that to true here. It's true. And now we can check in the end if has shield blocked. Then we play this sound. So we grab the sound container. Oh, but then we also need the sound container. And this is the issue with this thing. So I'm thinking of having this like publicly available, or I mean, if we go to initial scene and this one, let's just make this public. So now we can actually grab that from this thing, which makes this dependent on this. Well, it's not really a scene though, it's like the game, but we only have like one of these. Wait, this is gonna be initial scene. So initial scene here is actually just like it's actually more like a game struct, but yeah, this makes it so that you only have these sounds. I guess we load all sounds and we just have all sounds all the time, and we don't like manage those resources. If we need to do that in the future, we can handle that with a more sophisticated like way of storing those containers, but or sounds and stuff. But wait, this is sound container, and this is gonna be register singletons. Sound container get, yes. Well, the key is gonna be shield block. Okay, and then we need raylib. Okay, so now we should get shield block when we block a rock. Let's see if we can get this guy to throw a rock at us. No? Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah. The sounds are funny to me, but okay. Yeah, I mean, we are playing the sound, so so that's one case of shield block. The other case is when the monster attacks us and we shield block a melee attack, and that happens somewhere else. So that actually happens. Let's see if we need to grab that. I think in the monster system. Yeah, here we are grabbing an attack hitbox for the monster, and we are checking for the intersections of the player, and we are doing, actually this, we don't really need this anymore. Since we have invisibility frames now. Okay, let's delete this because I don't think we need that. So we'll do a block check. Yeah, this is where we check if the, so this is sort of almost the same thing as we had the other place. So let's actually do here. Has shield blocked is false. If we successfully shield block here, we set this to true. So this is to prevent to have like multiple things, multiple sounds playing at the same time. And then we do this play sound thing. So we need to go back here and we need to copy this. And we need to import initial sound container and raylib as well. Oops. Okay. So now we should be getting shieldbox sounds when we get when we're blocking a melee attack. Yeah. All right. Nice. I can't get over those sounds. But okay. It was just like a first pass on making the sounds. I said I took a little bit of time to make them, but yeah, definitely needs improvement. Anyway, I'll stop talking about that. So we did the shield block. Okay, now we need this. Now we're gonna do this one. Land on ground. So the idea is like when you jump and you land, sort of like I mean Super Metroid. I think Hollow Knight also has it, like when you land on the ground you'd make a little bit of noise just to have something there, because I feel that adds a lot of like atmosphere. So yeah, we have this land sound, and when does that happen? So it happens when we deal with this on ground variable. And here we go. Here is where we set on ground to false. Well, actually, this is like a reset thing. We set it to false, and then if we collide, I guess, with the ground, we set it to true, I think. Yeah. So it's like, but then we need to like know what did we have last frame? Was we on the ground on the last frame? Then we know that we have landed in this frame. So because this collision will happen every frame, I think. I'm kind of scared to just play the sound here. Oops, this needs to be seen. Land. I'm kind of scared to do this. I'm not sure if the sound... Okay, I'm just gonna mute for the stream here. This will play it like all the time. Yeah, it did. Okay, so I just wanted to play when this first happens, and since we are resetting this on ground every frame, we cannot really use that again. Unless we don't reset it here. But then we don't know if it's gonna be true or not. Maybe we'll remember the old value. No, the whole idea is that... No, wait. Why are we even doing this? Let's see. Yeah, because we might not get a collision. If we don't have a collision, then I guess we're not on the ground. But if we get a collision, and the collision is not like this ground-based thing, then the on ground should be false. But then you can collide with another. Yeah, if you collide with multiple things at the same time. Okay, I think the easiest thing right now is just to add last on ground, I guess we can call it. And we'll just set this to false. Or maybe... Yeah, if it's the first frame, do we get like a landing sound now? Okay. Well, anyway, we want to check if last on ground, then we play. No, if it's not, yeah. So if we weren't on the ground, yeah. And then after here, we set last on ground to the new one there. Okay. So now, yeah. So now we get in here. Wait, but this will trigger for each thing that you're landing on. But you're probably just gonna land on one thing. Maybe we should just maybe we should set last on ground here instead. Actually, to prevent it from happening like again and again. So let's just set this to true here. So we prevent this from happening again. And I think we should still set it here because it could be false. Yeah. Okay. It's a little bit convoluted here, I guess, but so I'm getting a phone call here. Excuse me. Back, sorry about that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a food break here soon. I've got food coming on the way here, so let's see. Let's do as much as possible here. Now, okay, so let's see if this works. Maybe I should mute the desktop audio just in case something goes wrong. And there you go. We actually get the landing sound. Okay. It's a little bit annoying. It's a little bit loud, I guess. Maybe it shouldn't play. Maybe it should only play like if the velocity is high enough. So we can. I think we have the velocity in here. Let's see. We have the collision, and that one has depth, which is like, I guess, one way of looking at. But that doesn't really talk about doesn't necessarily have to do with the velocity. I think maybe we'll check. I think in this stage the velocity should be actually resolved, so the velocity is actually kind of lost here. So I wonder if I should actually add that into the collision struct so we know what the velocity was of those bodies like before the collision, because I think at this stage, yeah, you pull the collisions after the physics update. The collision resolve happens here, and then you pull the collisions that has happened. Okay, I'm not gonna solve that right now. We'll just keep it as is, but I'm gonna write this down. So this is true, but I'm gonna add this to do here, which is gonna be only play when velocity is above threshold. Add. Okay, so we need to then add before collision velocities to. I guess we could add like snapshot, like positions and stuff as well if we want, but to collision result. All right. Now let's do monster spawn. Sorry, got distracted there. Okay, so monster spawn. Yeah, I think we have like spawn set state here. So here we can also do the animation thing or the sound thing. Actually, let's. Do we have play sound in here? No. Yes, we do. So let's actually do the same thing here. Let's copy this, and then. Here we have like set animation, so we can also have like play sound. And this would have registry. ECS registry there. And I guess that's it. Oh yeah, and also the key. Okay, and then we'll go back to here. So now we can just say that. Oh wait, play sound like this. But then you also need the register. There. Okay. So now this could actually be like broken out into a global function, I guess, but whatever. Huh? Hello, Chuki. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? Let's see. Play sound. So I need to, yeah, the spawn. Yeah, I got a bit derailed there, but where did we set this now? So set state spawn here. Okay, so we set the animation and we also play the sound as well. So this would be the, well, it's gonna be, I think, clear spawn there. And we start this up and see. Yeah, that works. That actually fits quite well. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the sound effects again, I don't like them. It's like a very early implementation here, but yeah, not too bad. How's stream been? It's been good. It's been quite productive actually. I'm trying to make this game here, so we are in the middle of adding sounds, although the sounds are not like implemented fully here. Well, hang on a second, I'm getting a phone call. I'm back, sorry about that. Open source. Well, not the game itself. I think I wanna keep that private. I'm not sure actually, but I do have a sort of rudimentary, like, I made the game engine. Well, it uses like Raylib and ECS, I believe it's called. But I made like a physics engine. Then that you can look at my GitHub, which is Lumor Sunil. I only have like 4 repos there, but you can look at the game engine. Sort of, yeah. I mean, it's very shallow. It's like the most interesting thing there is the physics engine, I guess, which uses like vectors to sig vectors to do the physics simulation. But yeah, I might make this open source. I'm not sure, but I mean, I'm sort of showing the code. If you look at all this like the videos, you should be able to like copy the code anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter, but yeah. Okay, well, anyway, let's see. Monster Hurt, yeah. Yeah, so I might make it actually public. I'm gonna have to think about that a little bit, but because I know it's nice if you try to follow, like, and I know a lot of people do that, like they make it like public, and it's nice if you want to learn stuff and look at how it's done. Let's see. Hurt. Yeah, where do we set? Let's see. Monster. This is the monster entity, right? No, it's the no, it's the monster, yeah. So here we're setting monster state to hurt. Yeah, so this is the same thing here. So we'll just do play sound, monster, or clear hurt. No, it's called hit hurt because it's like generic. Okay. I guess I can just link you the thing. I don't know, there was something about Twitch with links that I want you sending links. I guess it was just to like other streams, I guess. But to do, yeah, I've been using that for a while. I mean, I know there's other ways to do it, but that's just a way that I've been doing it for a while. Just have a to-do markdown that you can easily edit and stuff. It's also nice to have like searching and stuff. I was using a GitHub project board, but it's too overkill. Yeah, I don't really like the GitHub project board. I think it's too much. It takes too long to do stuff in it. It's like if you want to create a new issue, it's like I want it to be instant. It's like it takes a while to create the issue, and I mean it's it's of course better if you have like, you know, a large team that you're gonna collaborate with. But if you're only doing it yourself, it's way overkill. At least I think so. So yeah. But yeah. Let's see, monster attack. This should be just over here. Right, so we have two different attacks. We have the throw attack and the attack high and low. This would be a little bit tricky because the actual attack has a little bit of telegraph to it, so it's not showing like an attack. Like the sound should be played, I don't know. Let's just try this. Let's just see. Play sound. Keep attack. Yeah. So the sound should be like delayed a little bit. I wonder if it's like when it starts to hurt. We should be playing it. Damage player, yeah, it should be in here, but it should only be played once though. Yeah, this one is a bit more tricky though here. Let's see. It's in here, but that's like a time window, so we don't want to play it like every frame here. I guess we could just have a sound, or like a flag has played the sound or something. Yeah, whatever. Has played sound is false, and let's just do it here. If has played sound, if we have not played the sound, we mark this as true, and then we play the sound. Okay. What keyboard are you using? It says Das keyboard. I'm not actually sure. This is like my work, like the keyboard I got from work. But it's some sort of mechanical keyboard. Does it? Is it annoying, the keyboard sound, or? Okay, yeah, I was supposed to test the attack sound here. No. Okay, nice. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, it's actually quite nice, this keyboard. It's got like a nice quality to it. I'm not a keyboard like enthusiast, but as long as I got something that works, I'm fine. What are you? Oh yeah, so you're also programming in SIG then? Do you have any projects you're working on now, or? Let's see. Okay, yeah, so now we have the attack done. Oh yeah, so now it's the throw rock. And the throw rock is a bit different because I have a sound where it's like when the rock is made, so to speak. The monster kind of digs into the ground, or it looks like it's like spawning a rock from sort of the ground. Yeah, we do have this spawn rock function. I think we can just play it from here. So I guess we can just add it here. Let's play sound. Make rock. And then maybe we should have like a throw sound as well. Okay, it didn't. Okay, so it's actually. Oh, okay, I see. So this is where we should play the throw sound, but we don't have a throw sound. So I just have. Let's see. Attack, and then. Let's see, where do we set the state to that? No, it's down. Oh, it's here. So here we should play this make rock sound. I think this is the same thing here. It's actually a little bit of delay to this, but we'll see how this looks. My current long-term project is a terminal file explorer. That's mainly what I work on when not working. Oh, nice, cool. Where are you from? Can't help but notice the umlauts. Yeah, I'm from Sweden. Where are you from? Let's see. It needs to be a bit delayed. So let's check where this should be happening. Animation Studio. Like in Austria or Australia? Throw. So it's gonna be like Australia. Okay, yeah. Nice. It should be should start with this one or this one. I don't know. So 0.6. Let's see. Let's see. So 0.6. So I want to start at 0.6 in. So let's. Spawn rock. Yeah. So it should be this one. Let's add a timer here for play sound at. Wait. Okay, it doesn't matter, but play sound at, and that should be 0.6. So this is now bound to like the, I mean, it's gonna be like the animation, but we don't really have a good way of like extracting that information now. I'm just gonna hard code it to this for now, but it's like so like get correct timing with animation metadata, which we don't have yet. I tried making a game with Sega Radio a while back, but I wasn't very good at it. No, I'm more a tooling guy. I mean, same here actually. I love making tools, and well, I mean, I do love making games as well. I mean, it's hard. It's like there's a lot of things that you can get stuck on, and it also it takes a lot of effort and time, but it's I feel like once you actually get to a certain point, like once you actually, if you can, the hardest thing is like keeping up the motivation to continue, I feel, because as long as you have that, then you can just continue, like but when you lose it, it's like, because I've gone through so many ideas and stuff. Like you start a new project and you lose the motivation after a while, and maybe you get stuck on something, and then you don't have the motivation to keep on, and then you get a new idea and you start all over again, and that just keeps on going. But yeah. And there's a lot to learn. I mean, depending on what type of game you want to make, of course. Even like very simple games like Pong or whatever, it can be quite daunting, like for a first thing to do. I mean, yeah, depending on, I mean, if you're just using, I guess, if you want to make it like this, like make your own stuff, it's a lot more work. But I'm actually making tools here as well. So I actually have I'm making like an editor. I can show you here. Oops, I need to go now, but I can just show you real quick here. So we have this. I made this editor as well, where I can make time maps and the scenes. And so we have this time map editor that we can yeah, do stuff. Select, you can move things around like this, and paint and stuff. So it's kind of a two-way thing. It's like I'm making game and the tools to create sort of the data that's needed for the game. So that's that also keeps the motivation up a bit, because you get stuck on one project, or not stuck, but you can help keep the motivation up, because you can switch between the projects and yeah, do some fun stuff between the two. But yeah, I need to drop here. So, but yeah, thanks very much for watching and joining me here. It was nice chatting with you, and hope I'll see you in the future. I'm gonna stream a bit less now, but because I'm going back to the job. But yeah, hopefully I can get some stream hours in here and there. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, and see you later. Bye bye.